Another one? What's with these guys?
Hello everyone, and of course, welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy, Ivorian Spice, and of course, we are here for the catch-up. 140, I was think 44, episode 144. Make sure you guys, first of all, subscribe, smash that like button, and share across all social media platforms as we're here to discuss. Me and Joe will be discussing the match against Brentford. 3 points in the longest time. And of course, can Manchester United build momentum after this win against Brentford? And Jose Mourinho versus Ten Hag, who will win this week? Europa League clash. Would it be Jose Mourinho? Would it be Erik Ten Hag? Make sure you guys tune in, post your comments, everything related to Manchester United if you can as well. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and share across all social media platforms as we discuss everything. And become a member of Red United TV as well by clicking on the membership button and selecting which perk suits you. Remember, we're live across all the YouTube and as well to follow Red United TV on Instagram and also follow Red United TV on Twitch. But it is what it is, man. I'm just looking for it. It's an exciting times for Manchester United in terms of finally getting 3 points. And we've been waiting for this, and it's been pending for a very long time. Manchester United themselves, it's been a well of a time. It's been a long way. It's been 7 games, I believe, or 6 or 7 games, and since Manchester United themselves has won a game. Just waiting for Jerome. I think he just sent me a message saying restarting laptop and then force update. Cool. We'll wait on Jerome, but big up to everyone that's tuning in today as well. There's so much to talk about. There's Lenny Euro as well, who's potentially making his comeback. And he had posted on his Instagram profile of him doing some light training sessions as well, and which is good. It's the fact that he's coming near to a full return because we need him. You know, we have defenders like Maguire, who's currently out. We've got Luke Shaw out. We've got Mazraoui, who had an operation and then returned into the squad, which I'm confused. Mazraoui was meant to be out for a couple of weeks, but was in the squad. Did he have his operation? We don't know. And top of that as well, back to we've got Malastia, who's currently injured as well, who's also making his return, but we just don't know when. And Luke Shaw, as mentioned before. So it's good to see that Lenny Euro is making his return, and hopefully he can return as soon as possible because we need him in the starting lineup or playing or being involved into the games. You know, Manchester United themselves as well, when you saw the likes of Matthias de Ligt get injured on Saturday, When I say injury, I mean, well, with that car, you were just thinking, oh, I wish we had another defender to take his place of his quality. And I'm not saying Lenny Euro is of De Ligt's quality. He could be better. He could be slightly under De Ligt. You don't know until you start seeing Lenny Euro play for Manchester United consistently and the impact that he will have in the Premier League. Smash that like button, guys, because we're about to get into it, you know. I'm about to get into it. I'm just waiting for Jerome. Jerome will just having a little technical error, but he should be with us shortly. But let's get straight into it because it is Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. Manchester United finally getting 3 points. 3 points that was needed in the longest time, you know. And you know what? It was funny because that game itself, especially in the first 45 minutes when Manchester United struggled. When I mean struggled, they struggled to create anything to have impact. In fact, we saw a Brentford team come alive in the first 45 minutes. 20 minutes into the game, I saw Brentford had 68% of the ball. And I was fuming. I was like, no way. We're at home. Why are we playing like the away team? We're being dispossessed by Brentford creating chances. We're seeing Andre Onana making some saves. It wasn't looking too good, bro, for us in the first 45 minutes, especially when we conceded the first goal. And that goal from a set piece. And what I have to say, because I said it before in my match reaction, for those who are wondering, make sure you watch the match reaction that was uploaded on Saturday. I said it during the match reaction. I was like, you can't blame the referee. You cannot blame the referee because, of course, he's just doing his job. Any players with blood on their shirt or blood on their face or blood just dripping all over the place, it requires immediate attention for the physio. So you will be sent off the pitch because there's no blood on the pitch. And again, De Ligt came off 3 times. And that was the 3rd time that he came off. So not once, but twice, you think you get it right the 2nd time, you know. I was screaming, wrap his head with a bandage. What's this? Trying to glue it up together. It's a bit far away from halftime for you to tend to the wound as well and stay put together or put some stitches, if anything, for him to return back onto the pitch. So how about you do some nursing and clean up the blood, try and glue it, and then put some bandages over top of the head or around his head like they would do normally, but you refuse to do that. And that just highlights the incompetencies of the Manchester United's medics. We've had issues with our medics before in the past, and of course, a lot of injuries. And then you're wondering, this is an exact good example to show that how inept our medics are. 3 times, you had to come off 3 times, and that 3rd time, we conceded a goal because, of course, I believe De Ligt would be the one that would be marking Pinnock. And of course, he wasn't there, and Pinnock's the one that eventually scored. You can't be doing that. I'm telling you, this is amateur. It's amateur from our medics team that they just didn't understand that. Patch him up. Do a proper job. You would have avoided that goal if you've done a proper job. But the one thing I have to say with Manchester United, you know, at halftime, because I know we was all fuming. We was furious, pissed, angry, saying, what the fuck is this? You're going to do this to us again? We was at peace during the whole international break. But you want to disturb our peace? Luckily, Manchester United didn't do that in the second half. And what I have to say is I have to commend the second half of Manchester United because Erik Ten Hag, who looked tactically inept, tactically clueless in 45 minutes, where you were seeing the same stuff that you saw before we went on international break. He made the changes, you know. He made that change. He made some tactical tweaks. And I don't know if he told the players that you need to step up in the second half. Because I don't really believe that he's got any motivational speeches. I look at Erik Ten Hag and I don't think he can motivate me. They say he lacks passion. Ruud van Nistelrooy has more passion than Erik Ten Hag. I saw Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's the one that was animated with Manchester United when we conceded the first goal. Where was our manager when we conceded the first goal? Sit on the bench. He lacks passion. So therefore, he can't motivate us. I reckon it's Ruud van Nistelrooy that walked straight to the dressing room threw the bottle on the floor and said, "What the fuck are you doing? This is Manchester United. 45 minutes against Brentford. They're possessing you. We're at home, guys. We're at home. Fix up." I believe it was Ruud van Nistelrooy. It wasn't Erik Ten Hag who motivated our team to come out the second half and came straight firing. We got Jegs as well, says our physio's to blame for the first goal. Exactly. The physio's to blame, guys. Not the referee. The referee's doing his job. No blood on the pitch, no blood on your shirt. The rules are plain and simple. It's clear. You cannot have blood displayed while playing football. So you got to clean it up. And three times he came off. And none of them understood the fact that, we need to patch his head up. Obviously, we can't do the stitches. Patch his head up. But yes, back to the second half. Manchester United came alive in the second half. Straight away, instant reply. An instant goal from Manchester United as soon as they came out. Within the first 4 minutes, we equalized, which was a better second half. And it was a better display as well. A brilliant goal from Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho himself with a wonderful cross from Marcus Rashford, who I would say had a terrible first half. Both of them had a terrible first half, including Bruno, including everyone. Everyone didn't have their best half. I would say De Ligt was, apart from De Ligt showing how much of a warrior he is, because he played. He showed himself in the first half and continued playing. And you saw how frustrated he was when we conceded that goal. That's someone that I feel like potentially could lead into becoming vice captain of Manchester United in the near future. We'll see how that goes. But yes, the equalizer, Alejandro Garnacho, the cross from Rashford, Garnacho to finish it off well, first time, was wonderful. It was great. It set the mood for us Manchester United fans to think, okay, we're back in the game. Maybe my weekend isn't ruined. Maybe my peace hasn't been ruined. Let's see what we can do. A couple of minutes later, we got to see Rasmus Højlund score his first goal of the season in the Premier League. Great for him as well, because of course in the first half, I have to say they don't do Rasmus Højlund any justice, especially with creating opportunities, setting him up for goals. I feel like Rasmus Højlund does a lot of work off the ball for the team, but never gets the opportunities laid in the platform just for him to just finish it off or just right in front of him. You can say, "Oh, I've already spicy." What about Bruno's assist? Yeah, Bruno's assist. I think this is like the first time I've ever seen Bruno assist Rasmus Højlund, because majority of Rasmus Højlund's goals from last season was self-made. Majority was self-made. I remember the goal from the halfway line, ran past everyone in the Champions League and scored a goal. Was it Copenhagen or Galatasaray? Like a lot of those goals were self-made, running into space, running past players and finishing it off, or taking a strike, controlling it, shooting it, and just blasting it in. Not a lot of times I've seen Rasmus Højlund get set up by his teammate, and that's concerning. But it's the fact that you've played with him for a whole season and you still don't understand your striker. It's the same thing with Xerxes. It's going to take a year or a bit for them to understand how he plays, but they never will until you get the right players in or the right manager in that can make it happen. But I was happy that Højlund got his goal. The lovely dink that Ruud van Nistelrooy himself will be proud of. He would be absolutely proud of this goal, and it was wonderful. What I have to say is that after we scored, we went back to our basic selves and trying to defend the lead and bring in defenders as well, which I have to look at my manager. Are you scared? Are you scared to go all in on a team when you're winning? Or you just want to protect yourself? And you can just see when you see signs like that, manager bringing a defender, taking off a striker to defend the league and all that kind of stuff. It just tells me you're very defensive minded. You're scared. You hide in your shell. You're like a turtle, or you're like a snail. You just hide in your shell. You go back in when it gets tough. Smash that like button, guys. Let me know what your thoughts on so far. So in terms of overall, in terms of that performance, I would say it's night and day. Bad 45 minutes and a good second half. But that second half wasn't great towards the whole 90 minutes. It was good for the first 20, 25 minutes. It was good. We got back, we took the lead. But I always wanted to see more. I've always wanted to see more. Jerome is finally here, so we can get his verdict on that game. You know, he had a little technical issues, but you know what? You know, as I said before, lateness is greatness. Big up, Jerome. What's up, my brother?
Yeah, big up, my bro.
About your overall thoughts on the game against Brentford.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a relief in the end to get the win. When we watched the first half, I was just thinking, what the hell am I watching? Like, this is just ridiculous. Like, you thought after the international break, we would have come out all guns blazing. But it was just lethargic. It was just slow. We didn't really do anything in that first half. I can't remember anything dramatic in that first half. All I remember really is that Brentford nearly scored in under 3 minutes. Because I was thinking, you know, Brentford scored within like 2 minutes in the last 3 or 4 games. I was thinking, United are going to just keep the ball, just make sure that they don't concede an early goal again. And we almost did, ironically. But we rolled our luck on that front. We kept the ball, passed it around without creating anything. And it was just like, this was a wasted 45 minutes. We didn't do anything. And then De Ligt had a head injury with a collision. We went for a header. And he got patched up. Came back on 5 minutes later. He had to get patched up again because blood was dripping from his head. And I was just thinking, this is getting a bit amateurish now.
Okay, what was your thoughts on that, Jerome? Because, of course, a lot of people would have said the referee's a dickhead. But look at our medics.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't blame the ref for that because come on, he came off like what 2 or 3 times.
Three times the referee told you to come off.
Yeah, 3 times, and don't forget when he comes off, it's time added on. We can't have otherwise we're gonna have like 15, 20 minutes stoppage time. So I think the referees wanted to keep the game flowing, and I think coming off once is like you could give them the benefit of that, but 2 or 3 times is like it's just getting ridiculous now. And they did look like they knew what they were doing on the touchline. To be honest, I remember Garnacho almost collided into them. It just looked a bit comical on the sidelines. As a result of him coming off, we were short in defence for their free kick. Or was it a corner? Yeah. I can't remember who scored. I think it was Pinnock. Yeah, Pinnock scored, and I was just thinking, oh, here we go again. ETH out.
Trending. It was trending.
Literally, like the group chat going into meltdown. It was just crazy. It's like, I've had enough of this. We did nothing all first half. I was just thinking, yeah, nothing's changing. Like, I don't know what they were doing. Obviously, they were on international duty, doing what they were doing with their countries, but it's like same old story with Man United. And then second half, it was almost like they just threw the kitchen sink at Brentford. Just like, we've got nothing to lose now. Let's just go for it now. And then, fortunately, we got the early equaliser. It was a good crossing from Rashford on the right to Garnacho. It was a good first-time finish. But otherwise, prior to that, both were pretty poor in that first half. Rashford, I hardly saw him at all. And Garnacho, all he was doing was just shooting from all angles. And it just wasted opportunities in possession. But obviously, they got their combined one, got their goal. And then from then on, it only looked like one winner. It only looked like we were going to win that game. I think Brentford were probably caught off guard because they probably didn't think that United were going to just come out all guns blazing in the second half. And then we started getting some good play, getting together. Eriksen was pivotal to that in midfield. Fizzed it in to Bruno. Bruno, the first time pass around the corner to Højlund, and that was a composed finish. I can't even lie to respect that goal because Højlund's had it tough lately since coming back from injury. He hasn't really been getting into good goal-scoring opportunities, and his first touch has been letting him down in cases, but that was a good quality finish. And then from then on, we were just pretty comfortable. Didn't look like we were going to throw the game away. Brentford looked like they've run out of ideas. And in the end, it was just a relief to get the win. The main aim now is to just win games convincingly, and that's one of the negatives that I'll put is that we're not kidding teams. Every win is we're going life and death and just going over the line, and that kind of football is not sustainable. We need to start winning games 3 or 4-0. So it just seems like at the moment goals are hard to come by in our team. But it was good to get the win. It was a big relief in the end. But whether this is sustainable or not is another question, because we've got some tough games to come. And no disrespect to Brentford, but we expected to beat Brentford at home and comfortably. But I've got no complaints about the results. But I just want to start seeing some proper team performance for 90 minutes and not a game of two halves or not playing basketball. We need to try and get some sort of control in games. And at the moment, it's not happening at the moment. So, yeah, the jury's still out on this team and the manager. But obviously, I can't complain about the result.
Yeah, you know, I was saying earlier on when we was 1-0 down against Brentford in 45 minutes, and especially witnessing Brentford possess Manchester United by 68% within the first 20 minutes and just looking like the away team instead of the home team. And I said to myself, when it came to halftime, I don't think it was the motivation from Erik Ten Hag. I was saying to myself, I don't think, and I was saying earlier on a while before you came, I was saying, I don't think it was Erik Ten Hag who motivated those players and made them come out and go straight bang on within the first couple of minutes. I felt like it was Ruud van Nistelrooy, because when we conceded the first goal, again, I keep constantly seeing clips of Van Nistelrooy more animated than our manager on the sideline.
Yeah,
when we conceded the first goal, I saw a clip of De Ligt and Ruud van Nistelrooy going crazy on the half line. But I didn't see my manager and having to go at the assistant referee, poking holes like, why did that happen? That should have never happened. No, sitting down. So that tells me, just like I've heard before, he lacks passion. He can't motivate these players. And I felt like it was Ruud van Nistelrooy that walked in straight away, threw the bottle on the floor and said, what the fuck are you all doing? And was the manager at that moment and told him to go out there and show me something else in the second half. Because definitely wasn't Erik Ten Hag. Because he's not a motivator.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, so I'll get that feeling that Erik Ten Hag feels like it feels like his head's already halfway out the door. That I feel like he's almost losing that hunger to manage this club. It's like he almost feels that he's out of his depth, and he's thinking that regardless of what happens, I'm going to get my payout anyway. So let me just sit things out and just see how it goes. Because when I see him on the touchdown and I just watch our team getting amped and ran through, I'm just thinking, like, do you not care about this team or what? Because sitting there watching this dross every week in, week out, like, it can't be good for your mental state, literally. But he's just sitting there like, he's calm, blasé about it. Like, yeah, I don't care what. I'll get my payout regardless. That's what it feels like. But Ruud van Nistelrooy, because he's played for the club, he knows what it means to the fans. But I don't feel like I get that with the manager. And
not at all. That's
one of the things that might be his downfall. Because obviously there's rumours that when he applied for the Spurs role, they didn't like his personality. And sometimes your personality rubs off on the players. If you ain't got that like lively, upbeat, motivating personality, then it's hard to pick up the players, especially when you're in a difficult moment.
Yeah. So
it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. But yeah, you're right. For me, it looks like the players just did it for themselves, or Ruud van Nistelrooy basically just gave them a bollock at halftime. So you guys need to fix up and up the tempo, because it looks like there's no urgency. You don't look like you're bothered about winning, especially with the Old Trafford crowd behind you. It was just like you said, like we were the away team. So yeah, there's a lot to ponder with this team.
And I definitely know he doesn't have the personality. I looked at him and I watched the match. There was plenty of time they showed him at the touchline, and he just stands there. He's not pointing. There was times where he was shouting, but I want to see him shouting at players. I want to see him shout at Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford and say, what are you doing? Like, I want to see more passion when it comes to my manager, because again, another game where we allow players to do whatever they want on the pitch and get away with it. It happens to be our top players as well, because the first 45 minutes, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with Marcus Rashford. I wasn't impressed with Bruno Fernandes. He was doing the same thing. You can say the second half, yeah, he assisted Højlund, but still, the whole 90 minutes, even the second half, it's still not good enough for certain players, Decision makings are bad. He's not having to go at them, and he's not taking the substitution as well. He's not making the subs, and he's scared. He makes defensive substitution to save like I know he's scared because when you're winning a game and it's the 90th minute and you're taking off a striker for a defender, that tells me what type of manager you are and what you're trying to think of the situation. You're trying to keep a lead against Brentford.
At home as well.
At home. Not Man City, that you happen to be 2-1 up and you're trying to save it, or Arsenal, or Liverpool, or Real Madrid, or Barcelona in an important game, a semi-finals. No, Brentford. Brentford at Old Trafford.
You know what I think it is? I think the manager, he's just playing survival mode at the moment. You could see in the game against Villa before the international break where he went with Maguire and Evans. And to be fair, he would have probably picked Maguire again if Maguire wasn't injured. Yep. He's literally just abandoned any form of philosophy or style of play. It's just get me results regardless. And for that to be happening in the third season, it's not a good sign for the future. And I don't think we're going to be seeing any of this control in the midfield and dominating possession football. I think from here on in, it's just about getting the result and seeing if we could just creep up the table. So I'm not going to get excited about any of the upcoming games because I just can't see how we're going to put our influence on games with this manager in charge. Obviously, like I said, I'm still happy with the result, but I just don't know what we're trying to build as a team, like going forward. What are we building? Third season in, and we don't look any much different to last season. The only difference I can see is that we're conceding less shots. So obviously, there's been some changes from a structural viewpoint, but there's still a lot missing. Not even just individual performances, but as a team, we just don't know what we're doing to build sustained attacks. Every time we have like 2 or 3 passes, then we just lose it. A lot of players are to blame for that, but you have to look at the coaching. If there's no sustained patterns of play, it just makes you think whatever we're doing in training, it's either not good or it is good, but the players just don't know how to execute it when it comes to a game.
And what that's true. And then I want to give an appreciation post to first of all, let me just say what Jegs just said there. Jegs also said that 5 at the back against Brentford at Old Trafford is a sackable offence. Yeah, therefore survival mode for Erik Ten Hag. And then of course, talk about defence. I just want to give a shout out to our future captain, Manchester Lit, because again, that was a warrior-like performance to come on, to continue playing while you're bleeding, while you're going through all that. And I'm very sure he probably was annoyed by the physios and the medics of the fact that he had to go on 3 times. But big up to him because he would perform really well. He defended extremely well. I kept saying this before. De Ligt's class. I see that. And yes, he's capable of making mistakes, but he's a class defender. He defends really, really well. He's up for it. And on top of that, they said he's slow. Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, he's not slow. I think people were just saying that he's a Dutch Maguire. People that said I haven't really watched him play because obviously he's been in the Bundesliga, so you're not going to really get much visibility of him unless you're going to be watching the Bundesliga every week. But for me, I totally agree. I think he's a good player. He's got good fundamentals, and he could be our future captain. Remember, he captained the Ajax team at a young age at 19. He's played at Juventus. He's played at Bayern Munich. So he's played at big clubs. So he's got that, that big club mentality in him. And you can see that.
Yeah.
Like most players would have just got their head bust and just be like, yeah, I've got a head injury. Let me just come off.
Yeah, I can't lie. If I see myself bleed, I'm coming off.
Yeah,
literally. Even if they told me, no, we'll fix it. I'm like, yo, I'm bleeding.
Yeah, literally.
I'm coming off.
Say I'm breathing off. I'm concussed in it.
Yeah, I'm not down.
I'm concussed in it.
I'll start pretending to be like Bruno Fernandes, like I'm playing Liverpool. I'm off.
People. You can just tell them we got players like that in our team.
Yeah, we got someone like
say someone like Luke Shaw or
yeah, he's bleeding. He's off.
Yeah, literally, them man don't even ask them to stay on. They're already off before you even asked them. Literally. But yeah, going back to De Ligt, De Ligt, he was quality. And I know we're probably going to do the man of the match, but he's definitely up there. Yeah. Well, contender for man of the match. Show good leadership skills. You reminded me a bit of Vidic in terms of like, he puts his body on the line. He's not like scared to battle for the team. Like, obviously, regardless of whether the manager's good enough or not to manage the club, he's got some players in there that care about the club.
You see, like you said before, he's a defender that loves defending. You know, the guy headed someone else's knee. Do you think I can do that? Do you think I got time to head someone's knee and collide and dent my head and then I'm bleeding? Yeah. I'm out for the rest.
Yeah, literally. It just reminded me of Vidic. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, Vidic. We remember the picture of Vidic bust his lip again and continue playing through the pain. Yeah, you're right.
I don't think that's what we need. We need more characters like that in the team that will, fight for the badge. I know it sounds a bit cliche, but we need more of that. Not just people coming in to collect a paycheck and pulling that at 50-50s. Like, we need people that are, like, literally just there fight for the cause, man. And if it wasn't for him, we would have probably ended up drawing that game because he was showing some good leadership skills and battling qualities. So that's one of the few positives that you can take, really.
Yeah, I think that's the only positive I'd say. Because I remember the match and I'm reflecting. I don't remember who else was outstanding in that game. Jerome, I think to be fair, I was quite impressed with Eriksen. Yeah, because he was neat and tidy in midfield, and you can see that he can pass. The only thing is to question marks over his fitness to stay there for 90 minutes, and obviously he hasn't really got that much pace, so he's susceptible to just get run past, isn't it? But this is why I advocate for Bruno Fernandes and Eriksen to swap positions, but I'm scared about Bruno playing a deeper role.
Yeah, because the only thing about Bruno, or there's a few things, but one of the main things is that he just likes to kick the ball long too much. Instead of just playing the short, simple pass and keeping his ticking over, he just goes for passes that are not there, and we just end up losing possession too easily.
Is he allergic to short passes?
He must be. I think he's, like one of those players that just like playing hyper mode where they just can't just keep calm and composed and just, keep the
ADHD football, I call it.
Yeah, literally. It's hot potato football. You can't keep it for less than 3 seconds. You're not punting it long. And the thing is, it's not like we've got like someone like Haaland or a proper target man up front to punt it long to. He's punting it to Rashford and Hoyland. What do you expect them to be doing with it? Like, somebody he needs to develop his IQ and just use your common sense to be like, you're punting it long to someone that's not really good at hold up play. What do you expect them to do with these long balls that you keep sending to them? So that's what we need. We just need someone just to use their brain a bit more and just be sensible with the ball, and it will be a better, more effective team.
And moving on from that, who was your man of the match? Because obviously I have my man of the match was in my match reaction, De Ligt.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to De Ligt. Yeah, just for his battling qualities, never giving up. Like, obviously he had a bad head injury, and he still carried on because he shows that he cares for the team. Yeah, and he was showing good leadership skills as well. And I can't fault him really. So I'm happy that we've got him in the end, and hopefully him and obviously when Euro comes back or Martinez can partner him in the centre of defence as the long-term partnership. So I'll definitely give it to De Ligt.
Yeah. Speaking of Lenny Euro, he's been seen on Instagram posting some recovery pictures of him doing some light training and as well working with the ball. So it seems like his return is coming to a near for those who are watching as well. Smash that like button. But yeah, I'm excited to see him come back into the team, which means that I won't be seeing too much of Harry Maguire, or we don't have to rely on Maguire to come in or Victor Lindelof to come in. And we're just hoping that Victor Lindelof can just either play left back or another position. But it will be good to see Lenny Euro come in and show his talent in the Premier League, because then we'll have that option of resting the Martinez and resting the De Ligt for a good defender as well. Although, I'll be honest with you, Maguire has been decent when he's played, but still we don't want Maguire.
He's not the long-term future, so we shouldn't be going back to the past to develop the future. So. Well, yeah, he's a good 4th or 5th choice centre-back, Maguire, to be fair.
Well, yes, guys, make sure you guys smash the like button as we move on. And of course, Jerome, Manchester United finally got 3 points. Now it's about momentum, and we know Manchester United can't do back-to-back wins. Not at all. It's been I think the last time we done back-to-back was a couple of weeks ago, and it was the first time in the 2 years that Erik Ten Hag has been here that we've had a back-to-back victory win. So, can Manchester United gather some momentum? Do you feel like they can?
I don't want to sound pessimistic, but it's going to be very difficult. The reason being is that we're going to Turkey to face Mourinho's Fenerbahce.
And the ultras.
Yeah. And it's a crucial Europa League match. Remember, we drew our first 2 games, and Mourinho's going to be determined to get one over on us. On top of that, we've got some ex-players there. I think we've got Fred, Amrabat, and I think there's another player there as well.
That's right, Amrabat and Fred.
Amrabat, and I think there's one more ex-United player. So they got a point to prove. So it's going to be a battle in Turkey. And then on top of that, we've got to go to West Ham on Sunday afternoon with just a couple of days recovery, and they'll be preparing from now until Sunday for us. And they're a wounded animal at the moment because they got battered by Spurs. So it's going to be tough. And if we don't win any of them, then it's going to be back to ETH out trending again. So we're always going to be one game away from ETH out.
Always. It was like this is the Ollie cycle again.
Yeah.
Always one lose away from Ollie out training again.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be very honest with you. Knowing my football club, knowing our football club, I don't see us gathering momentum. We saw the same Manchester United that left us 2 weeks ago to go on international break, and the same performance in the first 45 minutes for them to get some kind of pepper spray in their eyes, for them to wake up. I don't know if they got insects or what's it called. Someone must have rubbed some Vic underneath their nose so they can breathe, or pull it underneath their eyes so they can wake up properly and work and start playing football. But I just can't see this football club gathering momentum because of this manager and because of his squad selection, because of the people that he picked that were not consistent enough, and I saw it as well. Like, you saw it. Like, I just don't like our attack. It's not it. Having players like Garnacho, I know Garnacho's young, which I can blind him, but Rashford plays like he's Garnacho's age, at his big age.
Yeah, Rashford. Yeah,
you got Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah, so go on, sir.
And that midfield of ours don't create too tough. When you got someone just spamming, playing ADHD football, or playing hot potato football, or like he's a Chocolate Brothers, to me, to you kind of football. How do you build momentum? How do you build momentum with players like that who are inconsistent? And that's why I just don't see my team building. And then you're right, which we'll talk about it, because the next topic's Mourinho versus Ten Hag. Who do you think's going to win? Yeah, we've got Fenerbahce. That just straight away tells me L.
It's true. The funny thing is, I saw we played. Was it Galatasaray last season in the Champions League, and they beat us.
Yes.
Yeah, it might be similar to that, to be honest. But it'll be even more harder because it's got the Mourinho effect to it. Mourinho's going to be thinking, you guys sacked me, so I owe you one. So it might be a bit of a madness. Mourinho's. We're going to start probably from tomorrow. We're going to start seeing some press conferences and Mourinho chatting, talking his talk and stuff.
And don't be surprised if Fred has an immaculate game.
Yeah, Fred. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's going to be like, you sold me before Scott McTominay. Yeah.
Fred's going to be offended, so I think he's got a point to prove as well. And I just think that because we really need to win as well, and you don't know what United's going to turn up, it's going to leave for an intriguing game. But I just think because we got that, and then we got another away game at West Ham, it's going to be difficult to pick up momentum, and it's going to be fatigue. I don't want to use fatigue as an excuse, but the team's definitely going to be fatigued especially because of the way we play as a team, always giving the ball away in midfield and doing a lot of defending. It takes its toll on the team. And don't be surprised if we end up picking up a couple more injuries on Thursday. And I reckon that people keep saying that, we just got bad physios, but I just think because this is the second year where we're getting all these injuries, it's got to be to do with the coaching and the way that we're playing. All this imagine that you're playing in a team that keeps giving the ball away and doing all this constant defending and running around. You're going to get keep getting cramp and getting muscle injuries, and I think that's what it is. Like, because you see that, for example, say City or Arsenal or Liverpool, they don't get as much injuries as we do because they play more on the front foot. So they're playing with momentum, whereas we always playing on the back foot. So yeah, something's got to give. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out this week because, like I said, we're one game away from being Egypt out again because he's put us in that position because of the poor start we've had to the season. So, but if he does somehow turn it around in these 2 games and wins both of them, then I'll be pleasantly surprised. And I really think that, yeah, maybe we are going to get some momentum because Fenerbahce away and West Ham away is 2 difficult away games.
And of course, with that, I know I'm thinking about it. We don't do good away from home in Europe. We haven't won a game in Europe away from home for so long. It feels like it was the first time we've ever started playing in Europe when Alex Ferguson in the Champions League, we were adjusting ourselves to acclimatize ourselves to European competition. And as well, we at times win games and sometimes lose games, and it was difficult for us to understand to go through these knockout teams. I just feel like we're back into that square root one where we struggle to play away from home, and especially Turkey. We lost there last year. We're probably going to lose there again. And then we've got West Ham away, in which we also struggle away from home in the league as well. Yeah, the momentum won't be built.
Yeah.
And let's speak about Jose Mourinho and, of course, Fenerbahce and Ten Hag, because we're playing them this week. I believe it's either Wednesday or Thursday, to be exact. Make sure you guys tune in to the for the watch along.
Yeah.
Let me just check the time as well.
Yeah.
I hope it's not an early time.
I think it's Thursday at 8.
At 8 o'clock, which is great. So make sure you guys tune in at 7:30 UK time for the watch along. But of course, yes, back to Fenerbahce. Jose Mourinho versus Erik Ten Hag. How do you think this is going to go, Jerome? Because I'm not looking forward. I feel like Jose's got us beat already mentally before we even head into the game.
Yeah, I'm predicting it's going to be a draw. It's going to be probably, I would say 2-2. Because for some reason, especially away from home, we just concede hella goals. Dating back to last season's Champions League, I think we lost, was it 4-3 to Copenhagen? And we conceded a few goals to Galatasaray. We just shipping in goals. Like, we just leak goals away from home in Europe. And it's continued into the Europa League. And I just think that, like you said, we just can't seem to take control of games, especially away from home. And you know how Mourinho's style of play is as well, and we're notorious for not being able to break down low blocks. And I think Mourinho's going to probably keep things tight and stuff and hit us on the counter. So I still think that we've got quality to score, but I think the way that Mourinho plays, relying on mistakes and stuff, I think we're going to probably concede a couple as well. That's why I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. But we cannot lose that game under any circumstances. Because if we lose that game, then we're going to be in an uphill battle to qualify outright of the Europa League group. Because I think the bottom half, I think as long as you're not in the bottom 8, then you get through to the next round. I think the last 32. But if you qualify as a top 8, then you go straight through to the last 16. And for me, if you can't get in the top 8,
bro,
you don't deserve to be in that job.
Bro, I've said it before. If this a minimum is to qualify without playing the extra game in Europe, in the last 16. I mean the second round, and we should both be in the last 16, finishing in top 8. If he doesn't do that,
comfortably,
sack him comfortably as well, not struggling. Just like, oh, he's just made it. No, favorites. Otherwise, sack the guy, because how is that? It's embarrassing. It's criminal. Like Jens was saying, sackable offense. And it is. Like, but back to that game against Fenerbahce, like I said it before earlier on, Jose Mourinho is probably going to tactically outclass us. You said it earlier. That he's going to probably play a low block and defensive, get the goal, and then it's a wrap.
Sharp. Yeah, if they score first, it's going to be difficult for us to get a foothold in the game, because it will just play right into Mourinho's hands. So I think maybe one of the positives though is that Bruno's not playing because he's suspended. So maybe we might have a bit more calmness and composure in midfield.
I wonder who would be in that midfield. Would it be Ugarte? And also, Joe, I have to say, and this is outside the topic, but I was quite. I thought what's name was injured. Was you surprised to see what's name on the bench against
Mazraoui?
Yeah,
I thought he was injured as well. He had a minor heart. Well, they call it a minor heart surgery.
But they said he'll be out for weeks.
Yeah,
I'm worried about our manager.
Yeah,
because that guy had a minor heart surgery, and he was on the weekend. He came on.
Yeah, something's not adding up. It seems like they're releasing false information,
or they just forcing him to play with this condition to make it worse.
Yeah, but to be fair, he only came on for like 5 minutes. I think.
I don't care, bro. You told me he was injured.
Yeah, it's true. That we were told. I was told up to 4 weeks.
Yeah,
he'll be out for. These have the saying that Luke Shaw's unknown. So I don't know. I don't even know if Luke Shaw's back in training.
No, it's always Luke Shaw will forever be unknown, and I've had enough. Yeah, I've had enough. So, what do you think of what's the scoreline prediction for Fenerbahce and Manchester United?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-2, but I think it's gonna be one of those nervy ones.
Oh my god, another draw, even a defeat. We have to win, but another draw just really sets us back because, of course, yes, there's 8 games in total to play, but we're in match day 3, which means that there will be about how many games? About less than 6 games left.
Yeah. There's not going to be that much left. So if we draw this game, I think if we draw or lose, we're going to have to win all our remaining Europa League games.
And that's not easy for us, especially away from home.
Yeah, it's going to be a struggle. But I think ETH's future at the club will probably hinge on the Europa League. Like, if we're not getting out of that group, or we're struggling to get through, like as a group, like automatic to the last 16, then you got to put his job into question because already top 4 is looking extremely difficult. So as one of the guys said in the group chat shop said, all eggs in the Europa League basket, which it shouldn't be, not at this early stage. Because I know Mourinho did it, but that was he did that from February, March times. We're just like, right, the league's done now. Let's just focus on that. Not in October. So, it's going to be one of those nervy games on Thursday.
It will be, and I'm not looking forward to it. I feel like it's going to be tough. Tough for us on Thursday, tough for us on the weekend as well. Before we end the show, any final thoughts before we end?
Yeah, I think one of my final thoughts is that I'm just hoping that in these 2 games, the manager can work out what his best 11 is. Because at the moment, it seems like he doesn't know what his best 11 is. And I'm surprised that Ahmed's been left out of the team. And with Rashford and Garnacho, one of them should start on the left. I think probably Garnacho probably deserves to start on the left. Just for the fact that he just puts himself about and he has more energy. Even though he can be a bit wasteful, he provides a bit more energy. But he's leaving players out of the team that I don't think deserve to be out. And then when they come on, with this, it makes pressure on them to perform. So if you can get a settled team and get a guard in this team, because we've been chasing them all summer, thought that huge money for them. And hopefully you can come in and perform. But we just need to make sure that we've got a solid foundation, because finding all these players and not using them is not boding well for the season. So I just want the manager to look like he knows what he's doing, because at the moment it doesn't. And it looks like Ruud van Nistelrooy is kind of taking the reins low key. But all we can do is hope at the moment that he can turn it around and get some momentum going. Because if we're just winning and drawing and then losing, winning, drawing and losing, then it's only going to end one way. Like, you can't build anything with those kind of results.
Yeah, indeed. But guys, it is what it is. But let's hope Manchester United can win on Thursday and win on the weekend and build on momentum. This is your show, of course, Red United TV, the catch up. We are done. Finito. We'll see you next week, Monday, 8 p.m. UK. Make sure you tune in on Thursday. Wait for the catch up as well. I mean, for the watch along as well. Hopefully, it's going to be a good night for us. Otherwise, you're just going to enjoy my pain and enjoy my reaction and enjoy my sorrows. That's what it is. But big up to everyone as well. Subscribe to Red United TV. Smash that like button. Share across all social media platforms. Follow Jerome on Instagram as well. Follow Red United TV on Instagram. And subscribe to the Twitch channel. Become a member of Red United TV on YouTube. As always, my Manchester United fans, remember to keep it united as much as you can. And always remember to keep it Red United. We are out. Peace, love. We'll see you on Monday.
Bless them.